and welcome to Mad Goes Racing, and today we are in Automobilist 2 having a look at the latest beta build, which is version 1.0.2.9. Now, somehow, drop off on my part, I managed to miss doing anything on the last build, which was the 1.0.2.7 or 0.5, then 0.7 update at the end of last month. I don't know why. Drop off on my part, whatever. But basically the big ticket items of that were that they finished adding all the Silverstone Dlc, which you now have the full selection of layouts, which are 2020 Grand Prix, National, International, the 2001 Grand Prix, National and International, the 1991 Grand Prix, and the 1975 with and without wood coat chicane. So I hope you like Silverstone, because the DLC is 9 layouts strong, which is really good going. The other thing they added was the Mclaren Mp4 12. I think I've got that right. Yeah, 412. Now the important thing to remember about the Mp4 12, he says as he's twiddling down, is it had a thing called the fiddle brake, and the fiddle brake was basically a technology McLaren came up with that allowed you to effectively apply a rear brake to assist rotating the car as you turned in or partway through a corner, or even to control the wheel spin on the exit. Now, the way it's been done here is they have done it so that you basically have the fiddle brake on whichever control you've assigned to the handbrake, and then you drive around, and as you're turning in or mid-corner or wherever you think is the best place to use the brake, you apply the handbrake, only it's now called extra brake instead of handbrake in the controls, and that will help you rotate the car. Now, having tried it, I don't know how much effort it would be to get it to actually do what you want and actually make a huge difference to your lap times. I think it's an interesting addition, but I don't necessarily think it will be something that you'll spend a lot of time, unless you really are dedicated to trying to get the most out of, because frankly I found it slowed me down rather than speeding me up. So, but you can apply it on an analog handbrake as well as a digital handbrake. If you're on a digital brake, obviously you're going to have a slight issue with, you're going to have to press a button and hope that you've got the settings right to do the right thing. I think they have actually adjusted the strength of the brake slightly, but if you've got something like one of these wheels, you can apply it on the old twiddly brake on the handbrake. It does work, it does the job, it rotates the car exactly as you would expect it to. I just found it very difficult to actually get anything extra out of. The car itself is lovely, but I can't see me trying very hard with the twiddle brakes or fiddle brakes to actually get it to go any faster. Which is a shame, because obviously they've put the effort in to make it work. The way they've done it is because you've only got one brake lever. As you go around a circuit, it is either clockwise or anti-clockwise, and predominantly right-handed or left-handed, and what they've done is whichever it is predominant to is the side they have applied the brake to. So if you go around a left-hander on a predominantly right-handed circuit and apply the brake, it will actually do exactly the opposite of what you expect it to do. So know which way you're going effectively. So it'll be the vast majority of circuits, especially in Europe, are clockwise, so predominantly right-handers, and then places like Eton and Lagos are predominantly left-handed, so somewhere like that would be the other way. But now we're going to get on to the latest updates and what's in 1.0.2.9. Well, the big item is the Buskerud Kart Track, which is being imported from AMS. It's an interesting kart track. It's we'll have a look at it in a while, but it's I think it's fictional actually. Come to think of it, based in Norway, and it's lots of elevation changes because it's based on the side of a hill, so it's actually quite a nice drive. Right, general added French Ui and Hud Localization option, which is a work in progress. I don't know what the French for work in progress is. If I did, I'd have used that, but it's whip. Fixed clamping of range when validating multiplayer AI difficulty setting on client. Added support to look backwards when pressing look left and look right simultaneously, because a lot of people wanted that. Not sure why, but I think it's easier to just have one button. Fixed dummy objects unintentionally appearing in reflections at higher settings. I'm not sure what those dummy objects are, but they were obviously not meant to be showing up. Player now retains control of steering shifting during pit stops when manual pit stops setting is enabled. Fixed issue where sometimes player control was not restored after an AI controlled pit stop. Give me my car back, you little bastard. UI waiting for host message now also displayed after race sessions in the multiplayer when appropriate. Change exit button to return to main menu on post session leaderboard. Add confirmation step when attempting to exit while waiting for host to return to lobby at the end of multiplayer events. Yep, nothing worse than pressing a button and it just buggers off somewhere and doesn't actually ask you, did you really mean to do that? Because the answer's quite often, fuck no. Fix incorrect activation states on broadcast control overlay toggles. Fix menu mouse activations and highlight state throughout on the broadcast control. Dedicated server tool. Limit AI difficulty slider to 70 to 120%. Max grid size and max human opponents now allowed to be equal in HTTP UI. I believe there was one difference between them, so you always ended up with one AI from a dedicated server. I think. Might be wrong, but I think. Replace allowable time penalty with allowed cuts before penalty, and limit to correct range 1 to 50, as they're now changed the way the penalties work, so they're now cut based and counts. Physics and AI slightly adjusted kart tyre treads and FFP max force. We'll find out how they've changed it in a minute because we'll have a drive around in a kart. Slightly reduced Formula V10 Gen 2 AI tyre rolling resistance to better match players. Audio, all cars are revised for any persisting inaccurate engine sound position, forward, rear, left and right. Puma P052 engine sound offset to side fixed, corrected small click in lowish RPM loop. I'm assuming that's a technical term, lowish. Kart 125 two-stroke, or 2T as it says here, which is a designation for a two-stroke. Increased internal engine volume slightly, external decreased slightly. Camaro SS increased external sound volume, both trackside and external on car views. Fixed bad on power low RPM samples, overlap and general transition from idling to on power. Ultimate GTR Race adjusted filtering on external audio, trackside. Added helicopter and drone sound effects. Track dependent where animation is present as sound effects are tagged to the respective objects. Apparently some of those are a bit on the loud side and you sort of helicopter drowns at everything at the moment, so hopefully pick somewhere to go that hasn't got a helicopter. Tracks, reworked tree line and grass blade shader. Add a few new types of grass blades and reworked existing ones. Got flowers where we're going. Reworked fog stroke haze shader with different exponent steps depending on the angle you look at, so you can see the sunlit air when facing the sun. That's just, I presume that's like God rays, but without necessarily having to have like a shadow to give you the God ray effect. Added custom track animated objects, still whip, to Spielberg, Kyalami and Buskerud. Small art passes I'll try that again. Small art passes to Spielberg, Bathurst, Kansai. Ortona fixed pit speed warning on the track over 60 km/h. Added correct trigger for pit exit on layout 4. Optimised cut track. My mouse working really well tonight. Optimised track cut mesh. Whether that's specifically on one track or all of them, I don't know. Fixed VIR south hole after pit exit. Snetterden fixed some AI pit lane issues, hitting pit wall, driving into grass at pit lane to main path merge. Adjusted textures, fixed some object load popping, adjusted 100 layout, pit lane, pit exit, track cut to prevent a DQ in some cases. And that says 100 layout, so that's Snetterden again. Curbiter. Minor optimisation and art pass, improved pit lane path merge to main path, remapped garage pit box locations, calibrated dynamic brake marker spacing, Spielberg historic restored road patch bumps, minor optimisation pass, calibrated brake marker spacing, Londrina fixed black tree lines, Imola 2001 added period accurate ad boards, Silverstone 2020 International improved AI line, added VR spectator cams to Interlagos, Silverstone 2001 Bathurst, whip, vehicles, supercart, updated liveries. Right, well, we're going to have a go around this kart track. I'm not going to spend too long doing anything because I've been having trouble with my right eye, so staring at a screen probably ain't going to do me a lot of favours. So have they changed something in the mini spring, because it's really springy. Now, one of the things I have been doing is a lot of work with the AI, but how did I manage to do that? Somehow I managed to press the button twice. They've made some fairly major improvements to the AI, so if you're a single player, you will find there's been some fairly major improvements. I really must have a go at where are we going? Must have a go at doing a couple of them and maybe try and do a little bit about the AI. Right, two layouts, the sort of short and the long, which according to the info are both the same length, so I'm guessing that's not quite right. Now we're going to do, I think we'll do the long one and then we'll just explain whether, I don't think we want one of them. I think we'll go with something a little slower. Where are we? Rental car, yeah, whatever. Now, one of the interesting things, they've gone for the I don't know why they sort of went for the Paul Ricard style blue and red striping around the outside of the circuit, so it's a bit bright. Come on, brain, engage. Don't really need the UI, but yeah, they've definitely adjusted the car a bit. Now I have possibly been playing with my, I've been twiddling with my settings. Now, as I said, this has got a lot of elevation changes to it because it's basically on the side of a hill, so I have to say it looks really nice. Is it a Budley? Oh, I don't know. Got lots of purpley plants, lots of different grasses. As you can see, if you haven't tried this circuit out, it's definitely it's interesting because although it's quite tight, drone up here, we've been droned whilst I'm droning on. Although it's quite tight in places, it's got a really nice flow to it. So you do have to know where you're going because it does in some ways remind me a bit of Race Room Raceway, because it's got the same red and blue stripes over here, but that's also got a bit of up and down to it as well. So, but not as much as this. Literally the kart is running away with me down here. My foot is not on the throttle at all, and that's got a VIR feel to it, the red house. So, but it's really nice. It's all nicely modelled, looks great, as you have come to expect, I hope, from Risa, from what they're doing with AMS2. I was just trying to work out what the hell that is back there. I'm just going to turn around and have a look, because I'm going, what the hell is that? Oh, it was a bridge, was it? I just looked at it, it looked like a ski ramp or something. Or even a German V1 launch ramp from the Second World War, but I thought it can't be one of them, surely. I don't think they left any in Norway after the war. Yeah, that was slightly bizarre. It was just the angle I think we came at it. It just looked like a sort of slightly weird ramp. So, interesting control tower or something up there. Presumably it's lap time invalidated. I'm not surprised. It's because I turned around and went off the side of the circuit. But nice detailing. Again, all everything appears to be present and correct, and you have to be a little bit careful on the curbs. You can hook them, but all in all, one more steering lock there and I run out. The soft lock on the end of this is really good now, so when you get to there basically is where you run out of steering lock. It does stop really solidly, which is what you want from a soft lock. Now, I stop over there and have a cup of tea. Feeling a bit parched. Like I said, this really has got a nice flow to it, even though it's quite tight in places. So. Get off the curb. Let's see if we can actually do a lap this time. Bit close to the edge there. Loads of run the curbs here and there. The old rental car going, oh, I don't like this, I can't get up this hill. Definitely sounds like a lawnmower. Give us a welly. That's what I like about AMS2. Even a bloody rental car's really good fun. It's not fast, it's got no acceleration, but it is fun. It's fun to drive, and it feels great. We might again need to do a little bit more to my FFB. I think one more lap. Just you can actually just hook the curb a little bit and help it to rotate the cart a bit. that might be an off track. It is an off track. Dear, oh dear. If anybody watched the Formula 1 today from Mugello and went, yeah, that's definitely off track. That's off track. That's off track. The amount of cutting they were doing with literally, oh, it's all right as long as you got one wheel on a curb. I'm thinking that's just bloody ridiculous. That just teaches bad habits to people. As far as I'm concerned, your limit should really be keeping a wheel on the black stuff. But then I'm an old Luddite. We'll just, I think we'll do 1 or 2 laps around here. Oh no, I get the right. Did I have a button set up? I have. Brain death has set in. There's a way of getting out of it a bit quicker, I think, if you're using a controller. But my brain's not functioning particularly well at the moment, obviously. We'll just a couple of quick laps around the short circuit, just to give you an idea. Obviously it's not that much different, it's just a bit of a shortcut, so we'll literally do 2 laps. I love the way you just get a little arm appear up in the corner there going, it's that way. For those who've not noticed, you can tell which way you're meant to go, because whichever side the marshal, your pit man is standing, if he's standing on the right you go left, he's standing on the right you go, standing on the right you go left, standing on the left you go right. I get my brain in gear. So basically the bit that gets cut out is the twiddly bit up the hill. So the sort of faster bit of the circuit is on the short version. It cuts out a lot of the I think you'd call them slightly more twiddly bits as you go further up the hill. So I think the average speed around this version is probably faster. Because you're basically going from there to there. And there you have a lap or 2 of the shorter version of the track. And I have to say, I actually really enjoy these. It's a combination of, they look nice, got really nice elevation changes, interesting layouts, good flow, even though they have got some slower corners, but generally speaking, pretty good. Oh bugger, wrong button. Now, here's one of my, yeah it is. It's actually the Y button, which I think is the correct one. So yeah, great little circuits. Now, should we have a quick look at the MP412? Yeah, why not? It's Formula V10 Gen 1. I presume it's only got a couple of liveries. Yeah, the classic Mclaren. I can't remember what that colour's actually called. But it's orange basically, and then the one that's probably a tobacco supplier, so we can't actually have it in there, and we might try a slightly more let's say, oh, what happened there? Let's go to the 2001 International. I probably might have a complete plonker on myself doing this, but basically the idea is that at various times you can hit the twiddle brake, which on mine should be set to this, I hope, and if it isn't I'm going to go right, prat, and it will help the car to turn. Now they have adjusted the strength of the brake, so I was finding it was quite easy to actually lock the brake up completely. The sound of a screaming V10. Doesn't appear to be doing anything at all. Have I not set it up on this one? Just check me setup, controls, extra brake. Should be that one. Yeah, it was. Just didn't seem to be doing anything, so maybe it's because I was going too slow. Who knows? Slightly strange. Trying to work out where the damn corner is. Oh yeah, it does do something. See, this is the problem, is trying to work out just when to hit it and how hard to hit it, so if you hit it around here, it does nothing because basically you're going the wrong way. But you probably can't actually see a lot. You should be able to hear it trying to do something, but it's actually very difficult to work out when it's doing something and at what point you need to apply it and where to apply it. I mean, effectively you're literally trying to, in this case it almost feels like it's locking the back wheels. Look. That was terrible. Possibly this circuit wasn't the best choice, but there you go. The other thing is it's also very light steering in the middle. So realistically you need to work out what sort of corners it actually does something useful on. Whether it's fast corners, slow corners. And like I said, I think it will take a while to get a hang of what it will do and what it won't do. And to be honest, by the time you worked out what it was doing, everybody else will have left you for dead, probably. Yep. Ah well. Like I said, it's actually quite difficult to get the hang of. So you could spend quite a while trying to work out how to get the most out of your fiddle brake. What sort of corners it works on, what sort of corners it's not having a real effect on. So personally, I don't think I'll be using it a lot. I like the car, I just think the additional brake for the sort of effort you're going to have to put in to get the most out of it, work out what it's doing and how it's helping or not helping, you probably get more out of just drive the normal car. I mean, they've said it's only worth a matter of a few tenths a lap anyway. So, it's almost a case of drive the car as is. Once you've got the hang of the car as is, then see if there's any specific corners where your little brake will actually gain you anything, and if it does, how hard to apply it, when to apply it, how far into the corner to apply it. There's a lot of technique involved there that you might spend more time trying to work out how to get more out of your car than just driving and enjoying it. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Have fun driving your cars. So I think I'll leave it at that, because like I said, I'm having trouble with my eye, so it's being a pain. Not literally, just figuratively. But that's where we're at. That's the changes for the current build. I'm assuming there'll be another probably in a week or so, and I'm assuming they'll be going for a release at the end of the month again for the main build, so keep an eye out. But for now, from me, enjoy your racing, have fun, stay safe, especially as things are getting worse again. They did say they might get worse before they get better, so have fun, and I'll see you soon.